The roof over the porch is in now. Let's finish cleaning it up. I want to put some structure in there to hold this up, this end of the roof up. So I'll go to the first floor plan, and I want to put in structure, beam. Don't need a steel beam. I'll use a 2x12. And I know that it's going to line up over here. It may just be attached to the wall, or it may actually come into the wall and use the wall to support it. Just draw it across here like that. I can't see it. And I'm going to put another one in. Structure, beam, 2x12. And I'm going to put another one in that lines up with the face here. Tab, 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 tab. Let's see if we can. Well, I'm not able to actually get it to line up exactly. So the first thing I'm going to do is draw a section through there. Right through here. And put them in the right location if I can see them there, and I should be able to when I change my resolution to fine. And let's see, maybe I put them too low, too high. All right, so I'm going to go back to the section 5 because I should be able to see them there, and here we go. Okay, so they're both there. Let's see what to do now. The question is how to get those up. And let's just raise them up for 10 feet right now. So I raised one end of it. Now I've raised both ends of it. Okay. So now they're probably a little bit too high. But if I go back to that section I just drew, I should be able to see them in the wall now. And I can see the one of them anyway. So I'll align, or try anyway, to align with this. Yep, that worked. And I can't see the other one because I didn't bring it far enough across. Let's see if I just move this section back a little bit, I should be able to see it. Yep. And it might be in good shape there. But if I click on it and go back to the first floor, it's still active. And I'm going to try to just drag it across a little bit. That didn't work. Okay, so we'll take a look at what we have now. That's where my structure is. You can see the structure coming across there. It still goes a little bit too far, but that's what's going to hold up the roof. And then I guess it's time to put in my rake board and my fascia board. So architecture, roof, put in my fascia, what kind is it? So it's a flat 1x8. I said I was going to move it in -1 inch, I think is what we wanted. And now I'll pick the two edges. So I'm going to pick this edge and this edge. I have to go back and clean that up again. But now let's go back to that section 5. And now I can see where my fascia board is. And I know that there's going to be some sort of structure here. 2x8s, 2x10s, 2x12s. So 2x12s is too much, but just to keep things consistent, let's see if we draw in a reference plane. here to here, drag it out a little bit more, and then we'll copy that. Well, let's see if we can offset. I don't think it's going to let me do that. A 2 by 12 is 11.25 inches. Let's see if it'll let me do that. No, it's not letting me do that. So I'll just copy it. So I'm going to copy that from here, perpendicular 11.25 inches. Well, that sure seems like a lot of, no, it's not. Okay. So basically, I could say that this is fine. My 2 by 12s are going to come down and rest on this, or I could raise it up. So maybe I should do that. And then we put a little what's called the bird's mouth. So they're actually going to cut the 2 by 12 right there. So let's see, how much more would I need to raise this guy up to get him flush with the bottom? So I'll copy that 1 in 25 30-seconds. Control C. I'll click on this guy, and I'm going to raise it up. Control V. Control V. That's pasting in that. Just now the corner of that lines up, so that's probably where it's going to be. So I'll change the height of this as well. I could have copied one of those other ones and then pasted it in, but this is almost as reasonably fast. Control V. All right, so now I know the exact height of my 2 by 12s. We take a look at that in 3D. That's where they're going to be. And now I want to put in a post that carries this side. So we can make a decorative post, or we can make it a structural post, or we can take a structural post and wrap a decorative column around the outside of it. So for right now, I'm just going to put in a post. So we'll go back to the first floor plan. I'm going to go over a structure. Now I want to put in a column. And let's see what kind of columns I have available. Well, that's a steel column. That's not going to do me any good. Let's see what else we have here. No wood. So then we're going to have to go over and load a family. Go to the Imperial Library. Look for structural columns. We want wood and dimensional lumber. And we'll use a 6 inch by 6 inch if they have one here. I don't see 3 by 5, 3 by 8. All right, 4 by 6, 4 by 8. I'd really like to use a 6 by 6, but we'll use the 4 by 6 and then modify it. Revit wants to know where I want to put it. I'm not sure exactly. And now I'm going to click on that. I'm going to edit the type. I'm going to duplicate it, and I'll make my own 6 by 6. Get rid of the 2. Say OK. And then it's going to be 5.5 by 5.5. Say OK. So that'll change that to a 6 by 6. Now, I'm going to come over here so I can see it in my section. That's section 5. I think we'll go to section 5. I should be able to see my column. There it is. I didn't pay any attention to the height. So I need to add enough so that this column rises up to the bottom of this 2 by 12. So I'm going to measure, and looks like I measured that crooked. Yeah, it's not quite vertical. So we'll measure it again. I want to go from here. I'll make sure I go straight down. And it's this amount, Control C. Modify that. And I can just add to the top offset from the first floor, Control V, and apply. And now that makes it go, I wonder what happened there. All right, now I'm going to undo that and measure it again. from here to there. That's what I want to add to the column. Now the column right now, the top offset is the first floor, so that it didn't work the last time. It was even worse this time. All right, so I don't know what I'm doing wrong, but I'm going to put in another reference plane right here and then measure the distance from this reference plane straight down to my first floor. And I'll measure it one more time. From here straight down to here. And for some reason, I'm going to measure it one more time because I don't understand. If I look at the dimension here, it's 9 foot 1.5 inches. If I look at what's written there, so I'll click here, and there we go. All right, Control C, escape. I'm going to then go over to modify to clear out any command, and I'm going to add that to my top level and say apply. There we go. So it's where it's supposed to be, but not here. It's not where it's supposed to be relative to these. If I align, better. Okay, and the post should actually sit on the concrete. So where does it sit right now? Look how it goes all the way down to there. So again, I'm just going to measure from the concrete down to, I know it went in at the bottom of the footing here, so let's make sure it's straight, 4 foot 10. So I can add 4 foot 10 to the bottom of that post. And that should raise it up. So if I click on the post now, yep, it's sitting right on that. So we got it right in this direction. If we go back to the first floor, we should be able to see it now, but I can't see the roof. So let's go to the front elevation and figure out where I want that column to be in this direction. And well, let's send it all the way out to here for right now. I'm going to line it up with the fascia board here. So I'm lining that up. Okay, so that looks pretty good. And now I have 2 of these guys. I can drag them back because I know they're not going to go any farther than this. There we go. So now my post is in the right spot, but my footing isn't. So I can move the footing over, and then I'll have to move the slab over, or I can move this guy back, and that might make more sense. Let's do that. So we're going to move this guy back to here, and these can cantilever over top of that to carry the last roof rafter that comes in right there. So let's go take a look at this in 3D. Starting to take shape now. And now let's take a look at what I've done so far. So I put the post in and I put the structure across here, so that'll carry the roof. I have to finish this side off. And I think I'm going to take some 2x12s and have them go back this way as well, and then put in a wall that matches this wall. So let's put that wall in. We'll go to the first floor plan. Maybe the second floor plan might be a little bit better. I can see the roof anyway. I'm going to put in a wall. And I don't want a stacked wall. I really just want second floor stud wall will be okay. I can edit that and duplicate it. And I'll just call it the porch wall. Porch wall is already in use, so I'll duplicate it and make it porch wall 2. Okay, and oh, this is a stacked wall. Cancel that out. I don't want to do a stacked wall. I just want a regular wall. Architecture, wall. I thought I had gotten out of the stacked walls, but I guess I didn't. So we're just looking for second floor stud wall. That works. I'm going to put it in here, and let's go back and look at it in 3D because I can't see it in this view. And having a hard time seeing it there too. All right, so let's go back to the first floor plan. I can't see it there either. All right, so I guess I'll have to cut a section through there this way. Let's see if I can see that wall. Nope, can't see it there. Go back to the first floor. Let's cut through this section and see if we can see it. Because I didn't pay any attention to the constraints, I don't have any idea where I put that wall. Okay, so I'll go back to the second floor and I'll pay attention to the constraints this time. Exterior second floor, base constraint is the second floor, and then it goes up. So I'm going to make the base constraint the first floor. And okay, so I should be able to see it now when I draw it in here. The wall is shorter than a minimum. Is this a stacked wall? Wall. Yeah. I want I'll just take this wall and put it in this time. Okay, is it a stacked wall too? What's going on here? Wall. Here we go. All right. Exterior. Well, we'll just put brick on metal stud. Second floor, I'm going to make the first floor the constraint. Let's see what we got now. Okay, that looks good. I'm going to edit this type, duplicate it. I'm just going to call it the porch wall. I think I can do that now because it's not a stacked wall. And let's change what's going on here. So I want the finished material to be siding. So I'll come over here and change this to siding. Okay. So all right to that. It's we'll just make it an inch thick. Okay. So there won't be a thermal layer, so I can delete that. There's not going to be a membrane. I can delete that. I guess I can leave the siding there. And then I'm going to do the same thing here. I'm going to make this a substrate. And I'm going to make that plywood sheathing. And then I'll make this a finish. All right, I got to finish. I'll delete this completely. And I'll make that the siding. and the siding is 1 inch thick. And so I have to add that substrate in again. I guess I deleted it. So I'm going to move this up. I want it right between, I want the structure and nothing else. And insert another one. And that's going to be the substrate. And this will be the plywood. And it'll be 3/4 of an inch thick. So metal stud, really it's not going to be a metal stud, it'll be a wood stud. So it's going to be that softwood lumber. And it's really, can be 3.5 inches. Maybe we'll make it 5.5 inches. You know what? I don't think I'm going to need that, but okay. I might not need this on both sides, but I have it now. So, and so there's my wall. Let's put it in the right location. So we'll go back to this section. I want to move it over. Maybe to there. I can drag it down. I'm going to show a new technique in a second here. Where do I want this to go to? I'll bring it down to here. So let's take a look at it in the section here. There's the wall. I want this wall to go all the way back to this wall. And I don't need it to go any lower than the top of the framing there, my structure. So let's see if I can align that. Yep. And now I have to edit this profile. So this is something we haven't done yet. I double clicked on it, so that's all right. That's going to allow me to edit the profile. And I can take that wall and have it do that. So let's take a look at this now. Fill it here, and then delete these other two pieces because I have a unique shape of that wall. And I will say, okay. And there's my wall. All right, let's take a look at that in 3D. And so now you can see what I did. I wanted not seeing the problem that I'm pausing for is I'm not seeing the siding there. Maybe it's just in shadow. Yep, the siding's there. Okay, so very good. So now we got that in there. And I'll bring these back across this way. And then my porch will look fairly decent.